Thank you, gentlemen and guns. Coming.
Trip Flip every Sunday nights on Travel Channel at 8 p.m., 7 Central. I am on tour. Omaha this week, April 19th through 21st. Cincy, Portland. As always, go to birdbirdbird.com.
Is the Bertcast.
Yep, we're both recording.
Beautiful. Love it.
Why don't you do an intro?
I'm doing the intro?
Yeah, do an intro.
From your man cave?
Yeah.
I feel like... Okay, which part of this couch have you masturbated on the most?
None. You can't masturbate in this room because
Why not?
the fucking window.
Really?
Yeah, and I got 2 kids. They just roll up and see me.
Yeah, but
Trust me when I've thought about it.
Right, of course.
If any... I'm not saying it's ever happened, but
Sure.
if it's anywhere, it's in the corner hiding.
In the corner over
yeah,
there.
because
Yeah, with your shame pillows.
It's
Is
so
that what those pillows are?
yeah. It's the those pillows are the thinking above ourselves. We thought we'd have this like beautiful like area out here.
Right.
The problem is it comes with cushions, and then these oranges fall because the squirrels eat the oranges.
Devil. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the leaves. And then do you guys have someone to come and like do all the fancy landscaping and all that?
This is like a 90-year-old man.
90.
The oldest shit.
Why you couldn't? There's younger Mexicans, you know. They have a lot. We have a lot of. I'd rather you go the other way and get like an illegal, like a 13-year-old.
He's on a fixed income. So we got the house, and he like came with the house, and he just showed up one Tuesday, and he was like, hey, I'm Gabriel, I do and we were like, oh hey, and he was like, yeah, so I'll just keep doing it, and we were like, and at the time we couldn't afford it, and we were like, oh no, we're good, we'll just do it ourselves. And then my dad was like, what are you gonna like get a fucking lawnmower and mow the lawn? You're never home. And he's like, just let the guy do it. My dad was like, he's on a fixed income. So we let him do it, and he sucks. He's so bad.
He's 90.
He's like 90. He's old as shit, and he shakes your hand like this. Give me your hand. Give me your hand. He shakes your hand like this.
Oh, the limp.
Yeah, and it's so bad.
Kind of...
And so I actually have taken it, like at first when I shook his hand, I went harder, and now I've taken it to the next level, and now I try to go limper than he does.
Right.
To like let him know, hey, I noticed your fucking limp shit, and I'm limping you out.
So it's not even like a handshake. It just turns into like a weird...
Like just
kind of like just touching in an elevator, like by accident.
Exactly.
Like you bumped into them in line at TSA.
Yeah.
I once held this guy's hand by accident in TSA, and I thought it was my husband's. Oh. So I was, give me your hand. So we're in line, and this guy's behind me, and I just started like tickling it right there.
Oh,
like,
shut the fuck up!
And he didn't move his hand for the longest time.
Oh, I bet it was his. I bet it was his dream.
Oh,
he was like, "Oh, fuck yeah!"
And then my husband noted. He's like, hey, "How's it going? You making new friends?" And I was like, "What? Where are you? Why aren't you? I thought that was you."
No, but your husband's Russian too, right?
No, you met my husband.
Yeah.
He's Puerto Rican.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I just remember the hair on his
Irish.
chest in a weird way.
He's very hairy.
I remember the hair on his chest.
Our child came out, no lie, this isn't a bit, with a jacket of hair. He came out with so much hair on his face that his forehead was covered, like his eyebrows to his hairline.
Are you serious?
Was covered in hair. And you know, when you first see you have 2 kids.
Yeah.
When you first see your baby, you're like, it's perfect. And
I wasn't like that, by the way. I wasn't like that.
No,
I thought there was something wrong with both of mine. Like when they came out, I was like, their feet are misshapen because they've been in the womb. I didn't realize that their feet wouldn't just be like
feet
standing outright.
Right.
I thought they'd be like
what do you mean by misshapen?
They were like angled in, like they had their feet together, like a frog.
Like
and so I kept looking at their legs, and then they had these like their faces were purple, and they had like it looked like rosacea on their face, and I could not. I picked apart my kids. I was like, there's something wrong. I definitely thought there was something wrong.
You were like, these aren't. Let's do DNA.
Oh,
test.
if my kid and Isla came out, my youngest came out with hair on her back.
Yeah.
And I was like, we got to get rid of this shit.
On his back. He's 2, and he has hairy Russian immigrant man legs. He's 2. He came out with so much hair, and now I look back, and he's still obviously, the best thing. But I look back at those pictures when we first brought him home from the hospital, and I was like, holy shit, this
How
kid
did
is
we love this
jacked
thing?
up. Because he just was all squinty, and just like his face just looked like a Muppet. Like an unfinished Muppet. When they're making, like, they put the eyes on, and they're, like, making the thing with the face, and you're like, what the I mean, of course, as a parent, there's something biological. You just love the child.
Here you go, it's mine.
But 2 years later, looking back at the pictures, you're like, what the?
No, wait, are you guys done? Are you going to have any more?
I don't know.
It's hard. It's got to be hard for you.
Right now. Because for me, it takes me so out of my career, even though I was working pregnant up until
you were
doing.
Wait, hold on. Let's backtrack.
Okay.
Let's backtrack for a second because we met.
We met. We were still. My husband and I were still dating.
Yeah.
And it was New Year's, and on stage. And this is always like, the single man's worst nightmare is when somebody, like a third party, yells out, "When are you going to propose?"
Oh.
And you yelled that out on New Year's.
Did I really? Yeah, that sounds like me.
No, but it was great. But it was great because it was just so like in the moment.
Well, the three of us had been hanging out all weekend, technically.
Right. Yeah,
we were at Laughs Unlimited.
Right.
Do you still do that club?
I actually did it recently after a 3-year hiatus of not doing it.
Fucked by him.
I did too, and it's new owners. That's why I went back.
Is it new owners, or is he a part owner and he's telling everyone he's a new owner? And so that's what I was under the impression that.
Really?
Yeah, I got the vibe that Larry called me. Larry, what's that?
They're talking about him like he's gone.
Yeah, well, he lives in Mexico now.
Absolutely, so nobody finds him. So the authorities can't.
Larry was the bartender. Larry was the best.
Yeah,
Larry was great, and Larry called me and he was like, "Listen." I think Larry started doing stand-up.
I think so.
Yeah, and he was like, I want you to come back. I'll talk to Jenny. Whatever Steve owes you, we'll pay. We want you to come back to the club. And I was like, I'd love to, but you can't get it past my wife. She'll never forget. She'll never forget. We flew down to Mexico to do a gig for him, and he not only stiffed us on paying for the gig, but he stiffed us on the hotel room, the flight, everything.
What?
Yeah, he stiffed us on everything.
I'm with your wife then.
And she's like, I don't want anything to do with him. Like anything to do with him sketchy, I don't want to do it. And I was like, but in my head, I miss those nights of hanging out at that club. It was such a great fucking club.
For me, I don't want to be away too long, and they let me go up Friday, Saturday.
Oh, that's
came back
fucking
Sunday.
awesome.
So I will do maybe a little bit crappier. Not that it's a crappy club, but you know what I mean. Like it's
they know what they are.
It's okay, they know what they are.
Yeah,
it's a good club. It's Sacramento. It's close by. Drive up. Drive up, drive down. It's close to San Francisco. That's where I'm from. I grew up, so I made it like a thing. I made a little trip. And I don't want to be away from my kid for too long. I used to be such a road warrior. Even when I was pregnant, I went to South Africa pregnant and did a comedy festival.
You emailed me about South Africa.
Yeah, and I pitched you.
How was it?
You have not done it yet?
No, wait.
That's a crime.
You asked me about it.
Oh, okay.
You said you emailed me and said
I asked you about it.
And you
Right.
Listen,
I pitched you to a new one in Wales.
Oh, I'd fucking do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
I'd do that in a heartbeat.
Yeah. That's a brand new one they're starting.
You were like, hey, listen, because he had a problem with paying people too.
Right.
And you were like, it's sketchy.
I asked you,
but he paid me. I never had a problem with him.
He paid me. I did escrow. He paid me.
Every comedy club booker that's booking some shit has a problem, except for the chains like Funny Bones and Improv.
Sure.
Has a problem paying people because they got to make the money at the door. And if they don't have the money at the door, they're not going to make the money.
Right.
Did you like South Africa?
I loved it.
God,
First time
great.
I went for a month in Cape Town.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And then the next time was...
Oh, you went back?
Yeah.
My wife wouldn't let me go back.
I went back
I came back a mess. I came back like I was off tour. Like,
what?
Oh, I came back and I was a wreck. I was like, I'd been partying hard as fuck for a month.
Oh,
and literally I showed up and I hopped on this Jameson tour and I rolled out and I was like, what's up? I was like, oh, she was like, you're never going back to South Africa.
Was it the country or the
It was me. It's me. It's me.
So it's just
it's fucking a part of me.
Yeah, you're going to follow yourself everywhere.
And it was like a bunch of single comics, and we just all hung out and partied every single night. And they had Cuban cigars. My hotel bill was through the roof.
Oh, yeah.
They had Cuban cigars, so every night I smoked a Cuban cigar.
My birthday landed on, it was in September. We were there, and Ahmed Ahmed and Angela Sarukis and a bunch of other comics took me out to this strip club called Mavericks in Cape Town.
Really?
For my birthday. It was awesome. I've never seen...
I went there.
Yeah, of course you did. Of course.
The first thing they say when they walk in, if you want a lap dance to a dude, was, do you want full touch or no touch?
Oh, yeah, they have.
And I went, who gets no touch? I'm like, are you shitting me? Who gets no touch? And then it turns out that it's whether or not they touch you. Which I was like, whoa, I want no touch. I didn't know that. I was like, that's like cheating. I like full touch. Yeah, I'll take it the other
wait
way.
A minute. A lap dance, they're touching you with their ass on your lap.
That's what I assumed what it was like when I was like full touch or no touch. I figured no touch was they stand off like 3 feet from you.
Right.
And full touch was they can rub on you. And I was like, I'll take full touch.
Sure.
And then I got in there and she
But
was
that's
like,
not cheating.
no, in my head, no.
Of course not.
Yeah. It's a very gray area. My wife has no idea what goes on at a strip club to this day. She's like, they don't like rub on you. And you're like, oh, I mean, some countries.
We play Atari.
Yeah.
It's just a card game. We're all sitting around.
She gets more pissed off that I spend the money there.
Well, yes.
She's like, seriously? Just save the fucking money. I swear to God, you'll be home in 3 days.
Right.
But it's more like you don't do it for sexuality. You do it to be with your friends and.
I had the best time, and I've been to strip clubs before. My second date with Mike, my husband, was at a strip club.
Really?
Our second date went to Cheetahs.
Seriously?
Yes, that was. Like, I don't care. That doesn't bother me.
Yeah.
I had never seen. So Ahmed got me a lap dance. Right, it was my birthday, and I'd never seen a pierced vagina so up close, like almost like pap smear level. Like I could have told her, well, I think you might have a yeast infection. Like it was so, like that part was, it didn't gross me out, but it was like, I just want to get to know you first.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
as a woman, you're like, hey, look, let's just talk about childhood.
And we did because they're all these Ukrainian, it might be some sort of
You speak Russian, right?
Yeah. It's all these Ukrainian chicks who, it might be human trafficking, who knows? But they were all there
the whole time I kept thinking, I was like, do you need to borrow my cell phone?
I know, really.
Like,
and I was like, asked them in Russian, I'm like, are you safe? Do you need a warm bed, a meal? What's happening? And we just chatted and they were, very sweet and nice. And of course, as a chick, I want to ask her, like, so what did you do? Like, because they were like a professor back home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
That's the thing about.
I was engineer back in Russia. I make bridges.
You do such a good. I do a Russian accent now when I tell that machine story.
You speak Russian.
Yeah. We talked about this.
We talked about
so
this.
long ago.
Yeah.
I went to Russia.
Yeah.
And I robbed a train. Obviously,
Yes.
but I told you that like fucking 10 years ago before I ever told it on stage. I never talked about any of that, and then I told it on one Joe's podcast, and it fucking exploded. But. You're Russian. I do a Russian accent when I tell that story on stage now, and my Russian accent sounds like a fucking vampire.
Well, they all do. Russians do sound like vampires.
Yeah. I go, guys, this is the machine. If you give the machine vodka, you'll have a great time.
They called you the machine.
The machine.
Yes.
I remember telling you that because I'd never really hung out with anyone that was from Russian descent, and I was excited because I spoke Russian, or what I remember saying to my sentence I was going to say to the dudes was "Yada bota yukoshka."
Why is that the sentence? I work with a cat.
I work pussy.
You work pussy.
That was my sentence to them was Здравствуйте, меня зовут Bert. Очень приятно. Я работаю кошка. And I thought they'd think it was fucking hilarious.
They were just like,
I never said it. I never said it because when the guy opened the door, the fucking gangster, all I said to him was, I'm the machine. And he went, what? It's such a weird.
You wanted to say the man.
I wanted to say, I don't know what the fuck I was trying to say. It was so long ago, but I wanted to say something like, I'm the man.
I'm the man.
And I don't know what the fuck. And I just said it, and he thought it was so funny. He started laughing.
Because man in Russian sounds like machine.
Yeah, so he started laughing. He was like, just bring me into the room. He goes, you got to tell my friends what you just said. And I said it again. And then
they all fell out.
They fucking could not stop laughing.
Yeah.
And because they'd never met an American dude like that it was just like ballsy, and I was drinking like a fucking lunatic. Do you want anything to drink? Do you have to pick your kid up?
Oh, later.
Yeah.
I'm good.
I just got off the plane, so I've been drinking all morning. But yeah, so I remember telling you guys that. I remember talking about that. I think we did. Oh my God.
I saw your nuts.
One of my
Is that what you're remembering?
One of my favorite. I tell this story about you so much.
What?
And I forget how much I appreciated this. I don't think I've ever laughed harder. We did press together. Do you remember this?
Oh my God, that was the last time they ever let any comics do press.
TV. Yeah. And I remember we
went
You said
crazy.
this is exactly what happened. I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this as long as I live. There are 2 times doing press that are memorable to me. One is Nikki Glazer. You know Nikki Glazer?
Yeah.
Nikki Glazer and I did press one time. She was my feature, and I brought her in to do radio with me. And she sat off to the side, just kind of watching us do radio. And we were talking about the quickest you've ever hooked up with someone. Nikki Glazer is not really talking on radio. And we're doing in Richmond, and she has a story. She's like, "Oh, I have a story." So we bring her on mic. She goes, "One time I met this guy at a bar, and I went in, and I grabbed him, and literally it was so quick. I brought him into the bathroom, and I don't know, I just blew him. And they drop it, they dump it. They're like, no, you can't say that." And she was like, I'm so sorry. And so she goes off to the side, but the phone lines light up because they dumped out of it, and everyone's like, what did the chick say? Right. So the fucking phone lines explode, and they're like, and he's like, this guy Sludge he's now in Arizona. He's like, all right, hold on 1 second. She said something that's really kind of cool. It is sexy, but we can't really say it. And then she goes, I can say it. And he's like, can you say it where it's not dirty? And she goes, yeah, I can totally say it where it's not dirty. So she gets back on the mic. We are sitting with bated breath. And she goes, I met this guy at a bar. There was something about him. I don't know what it was. So I brought him into the bathroom, and I sucked his dick. We're like, what the fuck? And she was like, you guys said dick earlier. He goes, yeah, you can say, like, that guy's a dick, but you can't say I sucked his dick. And they dumped it again. It was so fucking great. So, but my favorite press ever was with you.
Morning.
My favorite part of it all, I don't remember any, all I remember is this. This is all I remember. And this is maybe not what got us in trouble, but this is what got me started laughing. There was an Asian chick. Right. I don't
remember any. I remember, but I don't remember what happened.
There was like 2 dumpy, like frumpy chicks. Right. And then this kind of hot Asian chick. Yes. And the Asian chick didn't say anything for the whole interview. We're talking to them, didn't say anything for the whole interview. And all of a sudden she goes, so you guys will be performing in Sacramento? And you leaned over to me and goes, oh, she speaks English so good. We're wearing fucking microphones. And literally everyone heard you go, she speaks English so good. I fucking fell apart laughing. I remember getting in the car, and I remember getting in the car knowing we were in trouble.
Never. I went back to that club several times after we worked it, and they never did that. We never did that again.
I've never done it again since.
But before that, I remember you and I we just took over, and that's what I loved about working with you was. That's what I do when I'm on the road. I just go in, I take over. I'm not going to wait for you to invite me to like talk about my resume or what kind of material do you do? What kind of comment? Yeah. I just take over. Like I'll start doing the weather.
Well, that's your stand-up too, though.
I will. Yeah, your
stand-up is
not demure.
People would categorize it as like you're like a male stand-up because you just go up and you fucking do stand-up, but it's not male. It's not male in any sense of the in any way. Like what you know what I'm trying to say, right? But like you're just fucking powerful on stage. Well, you just get on stage and you destroy.
Do you know Ian Edwards? Yeah. Love him. He needs to be like a catalog model because that guy is always dressed like he's going on a runway.
I remember when he had dreadlocks.
Oh yeah,
like long ass dreadlocks. He's the reason I wrote the joke. What happens when a black guy loses his dreadlock? Does it just fall out all at once and like lay in the bed next to him? And he's like, oh shit. Like it has to, right? It has to.
Because it's just one piece, really.
Well, ultimately it's like one hair. Like when you lose a hair as a regular dude, it like starts going away, and then that whole area is gone. But when you have dreadlocks, one day there's one hair holding onto it.
Right.
Yeah, and so it just falls out, like just like you're sick, like, and you're like, oh god. Sorry. You're on a date and you're like, oh, that's awkward. That has to have happened to him. But I saw him and he was losing his hair and he had dreadlocks, and I went, and that's what I thought. And then I started talking about it on stage, but never when he was in the room. Keep going about Ian Edwards. Sorry.
Well, he once gave me such a compliment, and I don't know if other female comics think this is a compliment or if they're. And not that there's anything offensive about it at all, but he said to someone else, not to me, to someone else, and this other comic then said to me, Ian Edwards said, that Kira, she's on stage like a dude. Like,
well, it's
not.
I understand though how it is a backhanded compliment. Now that I've said it to you, I'm like, well,
it's not like I think it's a compliment, not because I think men are stronger, and that's like, oh, you're saying I'm strong like a man.
Yeah, no, I think it's that the stereotype has been that women have been somewhat demure on stage and like dancing around subjects and kind of like maybe like Seinfeld was, and then all of a sudden there was this influx of dudes that just came and charged the stage like Sam Kinison and Pryor and like those dudes who just had this their personality went. They were definitive personalities and not just doing an act. And some women were doing an act,
right?
But Sarah Silverman's powerful on stage, just like it's a backhanded compliment because we're saying ultimately what I just said was that women, whatever, but that's not true because some of my favorite comics are women, and I think the funniest people on Twitter are women.
Well, like, look, Stephen Wright is not Mr. All Powerful on stage.
Yeah.
He's totally mellow, quiet, subdued. I think it's just more of a. I like the take chargedness. I know what he meant by it, and I was because I love him as a comic. I look up to him. I think he's such a wordsmith.
Yeah.
He's such a strong comic. So I wasn't offended. I appreciated it, but there is something about that, and I like to bring it into when I do radio. Going back to the morning.
Oh yeah.
I like to go in there and say, look, you guys do your thing, 365 days a year. That's what you guys do. I'm going to come in and do my thing. I don't want to come in and just be a shy, demure guest talking about, come see me at the Laugh Factory tonight or whatever.
Here are my setups.
Yeah, I'm not going to do my bits.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do little jokes so you get an idea of what I'm doing on stage. I'm going to come in here and just show you why I'm a comic and why I like to entertain people.
Yeah.
And that's what you and I did.
Oh, we had the same.
To a different level.
Oh, putting us together was like.
Was that the time that I put makeup on?
I
Where
don't remember.
I put makeup on. I think that was that time where I was looking at the two women next to us, the frumpy women, and I was you guys are all like made up, and you got your lashes and your mascara, and I just rolled out of bed because it was like 7 a.m.
Oh yeah.
And so I asked the Asian chick for her makeup bag, and I started putting makeup on to kind of freshen myself up a little bit. So I'll do ridiculous stuff like that.
And then you went. So wait, let's go back to backtracking. So then we worked together. Then that was probably 6 years ago?
No, way more.
7. Really?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Because I had just started the Tonight Show.
And I just started talking about Georgia, the birth of Georgia. So, and Georgia's 8. So
She's 8.
It's probably 7.
Yeah.
And then I would run into you, but I didn't it's the way that the business works is that you literally you hang out with someone. We had a great fucking weekend that weekend. I remember that really that weekend was one of the defining weekends that put perspective on my career because I remember saying ballsy as fuck. You had a show late night Saturday or Friday, and I was like, well, I'll just host. And I remember hosting because I was like, I'll get on stage. I don't give a shit. I'll kill. I'm a fucking headliner. And I bombed as a host. I didn't know how to host.
You didn't.
Yes. I bombed. I didn't suck a dick, but I definitely bombed. And then you went on and destroyed. And I was like, I got to redefine myself. I got to really
We had a great industry talk that weekend. You were going through a thing where you were saying, look, I need to turn some shit around. And you made this game plan for yourself. And we were talking about it. And you were like, I need to start headlining the improvs. This is the year. It's going to start happening. And you put down this syllabus for yourself.
I'm so that person. And people don't see that in me.
I love it, though.
Every year I write a list of my goals.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and that I remember, God damn it, that was that year.
Yeah.
That was totally that year.
It was New Year's. So, you had that feeling of all right, let's start making our lists.
Yeah.
This is what I want for this upcoming year. You were the New Year's baby, remember?
I came out in a diaper.
In a diaper.
And a diaper made of toilet paper. And a T-shirt, maybe.
It was a T-shirt diaper.
It was a T-shirt diaper.
Yeah, and it was hilarious.
God, that was
It was.
That was so much fun. And that was when, in my opinion, I look back to those moments, and I always say this, to friends, but I wish passion coincided with your earning potential.
Right.
That you were as passionate then as you are now. Because now I go and do stand-up, and I'm very passionate, but man, I don't have the energy I had back then. I took chances.
Yeah.
I did whatever the fuck. I wanted to make a name for myself. I would go out on a limb.
Yeah.
And it's like I remember watching you go on stage that first night. I think you did Thursday, Friday, and then I came in and we did Saturday together.
I don't remember. I remember alternating or something. I can't remember the setup.
Like for New Year's Eve, I headlined the late show. You headlined the early show.
Yeah.
But I only came in for the weekend. I only came in for Saturday. Really? You had the whole week. You had like Thursday, Friday.
Okay.
And
good memory.
I remember I only remember that because I remember coming in and it was your weekend and I rolled in and I had gone to the club a lot, but I saw you and I was like, "Fuck, she's funny." And I was like, "This is gonna be." I was like, "I thought I'd just come in and blow through this." I thought she was a feature act, and I remember distinctly being like, "Fuck, I gotta bring it." I wish that this business worked that way.
Right.
You know. Now I'm like, I feel like what we were talking about earlier when you walked in. I don't have any fucking free time. I have no fucking free time.
Well, it is hard when you have kids. Not that that's an excuse, but it really, truly is.
Yeah.
Someone asked me recently, they were like, it's so hard to be a parent. And I said, you know what? It's easy to be a shitty parent.
Yes.
It's hard to be a kick-ass, in their face, like available. I am here for you. We're doing activities. I want to be like in your life all the time as much as I can because we are working and traveling. That part is hard. If you want to be a shitty parent, people do it all the time.
Yeah.
Put your kid in front of a TV.
I do that a lot anyway.
No,
but yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or like
I do
not
that.
Care.
I do that. Like, it's interesting because I'm going through that now because I'm literally not home. I leave Wednesday for like 3 weeks and I'm gone 3 weeks straight. Like, gone.
So what do you guys do? You guys Skype?
No. My kids fucking
they're
lost.
over you?
They lost the attention for that. They were like, "Yeah, Dad. Yeah, we get it. There's a lot more shit to do in this house than stare at a computer and talk to you. We'll talk to you on the phone. Make it real quick." I got to be honest with you. I can't even justify any of it. And I think this is what falls into the realm of being a good parent. I just feel like I'm fucking it up. So I just go every time I'm home. I always come home with presents. Like I'll pick them up. When we get done this, I'll go pick them up from school.
Yeah.
We will go. We'll then go take them to the set where I have to take a look at shit, and then we'll hang out there.
But I mean, you are spending time with them when you are here. You can't do anything about
right. You
going
can't,
and working. You're on a travel show.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
you can't justify
reality.
it. You can't not justify a million things. There's a ton of things that I go, fuck, I wish that was different. But here's the great thing is that's the only truth they know. They only know that. They only know that Daddy travels for work. That's it.
So let me ask you a personal question about the marriage, because we all know that that sucks when you're married.
Yeah, more for you and less for me.
Really?
Yeah, because
Explain.
my wife would rather have me gone. Like she does better with me being gone, to the point where one time we were fighting.
What?
Yeah, we were fighting, and she, I was home, we were fighting, and I left to go do voiceover. And as I'm driving back, I called her, and I was called her ready to like continue the fight in a weird way. But the phone, but I knew that's where the energy we were in.
Right.
The phone rang, and she just picked it up like I was on the road. She's like, "Hey, babe," and I was like, "Hey, what's up?" She's like, "Where are you at?" I said, "I'm coming home." She went, "Oh, you're in town." "Oh yeah, I forgot." And like, so like we talk better on the phone when I'm on the road. We never have a beef when I'm on the road. When I come home, I drive her fucking nuts. I literally drive her nuts.
But do you feel like you need to constantly work on it? Like, what are you guys doing to make it amicable for everybody? Like,
I will say,
you have to have sex. You have to have sex.
But I think we probably have very different opposing views about that. Like I am, and your probably husband's the exact same way. I know Tom Segura is the same way. That when I get home, I need to have it right away to like plant my seed. My wife calls it.
Right.
Like I have to like right now. I'm home. I'm staking my claim. This is mine.
Right.
That's how I work. My wife could actually not have it and be like, I'm glad we connected. Like she would rather us go to dinner and talk than have sex. I'd rather have sex and then not go to dinner and talk.
I'm the opposite. If I'm not going out of town, like if I'm leaving tomorrow morning, we got to do it right now.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
God, you're a fucking dream.
We got it because I'm going on the road. And I don't want, like, I feel like when you have sex, and I'm not trying to make it sound so like animalistic.
Yeah.
But I just feel like it does kind of connect you, but it also kind of like, hey, we're in this. Boom. It's like fist bump.
That's exactly what it's like.
And now I'm going on the road. We're cool. So now I know I get on the plane tomorrow morning that we're cool.
Yeah.
Like
that's how I feel. That's how I feel.
That's
exactly. Yeah.
And then if I'm gone 1 night, 2 nights, obviously with a kid, I'm not gone as much.
So wait, how do you do the road now?
3 nights max.
Really?
I've been away from him.
Really?
Yeah. 3 nights in a row. I'll do max.
That's got to be hard.
It's hard. I know. I'm not trying to say for dudes it's easier.
No, it is. It is.
He is such a mommy.
Yeah.
And it would break my heart.
I was just thinking about your husband, not your kid. I was like, how does he do it?
Oh, I thought you...
I couldn't do it for fucking life of me. If Leanne left for 3 days at a time, I'd be like, we're gonna need it. Yeah, I was like, how does your husband do it?
Sorry, I didn't know which he.
You was like, mommy. I was like, oh, we were talking about your kid. Oh shit.
Mike calls me mommy.
So wait, how does Mike do it?
You know, we have daycare.
Yeah.
My mother-in-law lives here. Mike is born and raised in LA.
Oh,
yes,
that's
my
fucking
mother-in-law
awesome.
is here. We just make it happen. Usually it's the weekends, right? Usually, like I'll try to do like a, Friday, Saturday, come home Sunday. So
yeah.
Last week I went to New York to shoot. Have you done Nick Mom? They're doing like stand up and stuff. I don't know. I just did it with Mazda Brani and
what is it?
It's just stand up for parents.
Oh, okay.
It's really fun.
Oh, my stand up for parents is a little dirty.
It doesn't
these
have
days.
to be. It doesn't have to be parent material.
No, but none of my material's clean these days.
Oh, okay. Well,
yeah, like we're going through issues with Isla, but it's fucking great for my stand-up.
Right,
like
I know.
hardcore issues, but it's fucking murderous.
Well, Greg Barron was on. It was Mazda Bonnie, myself, Greg, and Greg did his bit about his kid who has a whatchamacallit, invisible friend. What are they called?
Yeah.
What are they called?
Imaginary friend?
Imaginary, thank you. Imaginary
Invisible friend.
Invisible friend. Sorry, English is my second language. And the imaginary friend hates his daughter.
Really?
Yes, it was hilarious.
God, now I got to Google that bit.
Oh,
Has he done it on? Is it new?
I don't know how new it is.
It's so exciting when you hear a comic have a great bit, and you're like, and another comic says it, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to fucking see that.
Yeah, it's hilarious. He's like, so my daughter, this is her imaginary friend. This is her imagination. Her imaginary friend hates my daughter. Like, why the fuck would you make up that friend? Like, why not get like a cool imaginary friend? I'm butchering his joke, but it was so funny. Anyways, so it was kind of serious. Not serious, but
yeah.
Took something that was like really sensitive and vulnerable. And
I've been debating.
Killed.
So I don't know if you see it, but I have a really long eyelash. Just in case you do see it, it's a lucky
I didn't
eyelash.
want to say anything.
Did you see it?
Embarrassing.
Did
It
you see
hit
it?
me on the way in.
Did you really see it?
No.
Oh, it's so long it'll
really
freak you
long
out.
eyelash?
Yeah, look.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
dude.
it's my lucky eyelash. And so, but
Wait.
I can see it.
That looks like those Asian fingernails that those.
Well, it's in the Asian culture. It's very. It's you're supposed to keep a long growing hair because it's good luck. So I grow it and it's good luck. And whenever I grow it, I make money. So.
Wait a sec. Are you getting an SOS signal from
my fucking
is the Titanic?
phone. I don't ever have a fucking second where my phone's not ringing. Wait, what were we talking about before this? I want to talk about that.
So you were saying I have a lucky eyelash.
Oh, I know what I was going to talk about. I've actually been wanting to talk to someone in comedy about this. So, Isla is my youngest. She is I can't even put it in. I can't even tell you how funny this fucking kid is. She does things that are like stage funny.
Right.
The second it's done, you're like, it almost feels like you're stealing because it's that funny and it's that easy.
So she has timing.
It's just the way her brain thinks. Like
Okay.
she writing, like she did Proverbs. I read them on stage this weekend, and they murdered.
Wait, how old is she?
She's 6.
What?
But now here's the thing that I'm hung up on. I mean, I sincerely can't do. I'd have to do my act to you to do her justice on how funny she is.
Right.
I'll just say this is that I'm murdering with bits about her. Murdering. Like, I'm going, all right, I'm married to these bits. But and this is just the real part of it. Isla, there's nothing wrong with Isla, but there's something wrong with her. Like, we have to take her occupational therapist.
Right.
There is stuff going on with her that is not like
Like she's on the spectrum a little bit.
maybe. I don't know. I don't know if she's on the spectrum. I don't know. To be dead honest with you, I haven't really been that involved in it. But she had to go to an occupational therapist because she has tactile issues, like with clothes, and we have a hard time getting her to reel in her emotions. She's just one of those very wild children that nowadays they go, okay, well then we can deal with that.
Okay, so she's 6.
6.
And the emotions
Doesn't
thing,
wear
is it
underwear.
normal? It's not
Won't
normal.
wear underwear.
Won't wear underwear.
Won't wear underwear. Only wears knee-high socks. Only wears one pair of shoes. She's outgrown them. We're having a hard time getting her into a new pair of shoes.
But isn't that like just 6-year-old behavior?
You know what?
Because when I was a kid, weren't you like that as a kid?
I thought I would. Well, that's where we get to the next level. Is that the occupational therapist is like, something's wrong with your husband? Like, yeah. So yeah, I was exactly
That's
like
not a
that.
hat you're wearing, it's a helmet.
Yeah,
And
I was
just-
exactly like that as a kid. Exactly. I would not. I to this day I have issues with clothing. I have certain clothes that I wear, and then I won't touch other clothes, but I can't. Yeah, I definitely have fucking problems. But she's going through them, and we're like, it's normal childhood behavior.
Yeah.
But nowadays, the way it works, they're like, no, it's not. You should help her get through these emotions. But anyway, here's my thing, is that I've been telling these jokes about Isla, and they're fucking destroying. I mean, I have a joke about I can't even tell you.
Just do it. I want to hear
No,
one.
I can't. It does no justice to the bit for me to just share it with you. But
Right.
but so what I've been doing is I've been sharing the fact that like with these awesome stories also comes the fear of being a parent of like, well, shit, is something wrong with her? I got to take her to an occupational therapist. Is something wrong with me? And I'm including it. It's not getting a laugh, but part of me feels like it texturizes the story to make people feel better about their kids if there's something going on with their kids. And then part of me is like, I'm just doing stand-up. I should just tell the fucking stories and then bounce. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, because it's like, I'm sure Isla doesn't want anyone to ever know that she went to an occupational therapist when she was 6. In high school, when these bits, if her friends ever hear them.
Right, of
Like,
course. In this day and age, that's always possible.
yeah. Oh, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
It's possible that they know it now. Like, that her friends, I mean, both my girls have email addresses.
Oh my god.
Yeah. And they're, so like, in my head, I'm like, they're friends. Like, they know, I'm sure you deal with this, but like, they know their friends' dads that are on TV, and their friends know that I'm on TV.
Right.
And it's, I mean,
They know how to Google.
Yeah, they know everything. I mean, Isla the other day we bought a smart TV for the living room. She sits down, I'm watching this, she turns it on, and then Googles funny cat videos, and then turns it on and just starts watching, going from one to the one, and I go, baby, what are you doing? She goes, I love funny cat videos, Daddy. And then proceeded to tape the side of our cat. Like, if you put tape on the side of a cat, apparently they lose their fucking mind.
Because they can't get to it.
Because they're like, ah! And Isla then did that to our cat. But yeah, so yeah, like, it's like part of me goes, you got to keep some stuff private or not. What do you think?
I feel like we are blessed and cursed as comics because so much, if this is your style, a lot of comics will just do ridiculous, jokes that never happened to them, but they say they did, and they're just writing funny jokes.
Yeah.
But some of us, like yourself and myself, we have the ability to take something that happens in our life and in a cathartic manner talk about it on stage so that we can kind of figure it out a little bit
Right.
more, share it with the audience, make it entertaining, funny, add punchlines, and now it's boom, a show. Is it bad to overshare? Sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Do I feel guilty sometimes? Absolutely. I do bits about my in-laws, and I realize when I do them at the Long Beach Laugh Factory, my sister-in-law lives in Long Beach, and I always feel like her friends are going to be like, oh, Karen's sister-in-law Kira's performing. We should go see her, see my show, and then call my sister-in-law and be like, did you know what Kira is saying about your mom and dad on stage? There's always that guilt.
fucking-
But
Luckily, my in-laws can't read. Is that horrible? Leanne's such a fucking redneck. Just making sure we're having such a great conversation. I'm like, I'm just making sure we're recording. And
it's hard to draw
Do you want a
that
Diet
line.
Coke?
Yeah, do you have just water?
No, I have Diet Coke and beer. Oh, and apparently someone came over.
Oh,
Who the fuck was drinking my beer? No one in my house drinks beer.
no, of
No
course
one.
not.
Let's see. I just have
I
Diet
think
Coke.
your
You want
kids
Diet
have
Coke?
some splaining to do. Sure. Sure. Thank you.
So yeah, I know what you're saying. I do feel guilty. I tell a story about Leanne farting during oral sex, and I always feel guilty every time I say it. And I watch women go.
Does she know? Does she know?
Oh yeah.
And what did she say?
Kira, now I'm doing a bit to you, but she farted during oral sex, and the joke goes, I go, you didn't feel that sneaking out? How do you not know you have one in the chamber? I have a beard. It's still in here. And then she starts crying. She really started crying. She started crying, and she said to me, you're going to talk about this on stage the second. And I was like, I hadn't even thought about it. I was like, the fuck? You're fucking right, I am. Are you out of your fucking mind? Yeah.
Oh, that's a tough one. Yeah.
Oh, I talked about the birth of Georgia. I started talking about it up at Laughs Unlimited, and when I did, I talk about, obviously Leanne was shitting and pissing.
Yeah. Oh,
that's what happens.
That's what happens.
But like, oh fuck!
Speaking of shitting and pissing,
shit. Oh,
don't get on your phone.
Beer.
Don't get on your phone.
God damn it!
We're having
but someone's been in my beer. I feel like a fucking Papa Bear. But I talked about it in Laughs Unlimited, and and the first time I did, I remember Steve was in the back, and his wife. What was his wife's name?
Eve.
Eve was in the back. And Steve was just like shaking his head, and he's like, "You can't talk about that stuff, man."
What?
Like, yeah, because he was like, I mean, that's like private. And in my head, I was like, I'm working at the wrong club. But like, I remember him saying like, "It's funny, it's really funny, but like, what if your wife hears that?" And I was like, "Well, yeah, but that's this thing is that I pay for the house by telling our stories."
Right, exactly.
Like
I've never had a club owner tell me which bits to do and what
Steve
not
was
to do.
fucked up.
He was ridiculous.
It's sad too because I really liked him.
But you know what? That is what happens. That is what happens. I shit myself. My husband and I still talk about it. I threw up 3 times.
You threw up
3 times.
Really?
While in labor. Where I was like pushing the baby. I'm like, oh, you guys got to get something for me.
What were you Why were you throwing up? Just for
because
like
your
all the
body is going through the wormhole of Satan's ass. Are you serious?
My God.
You don't even know. You don't even realize. Imagine somebody, God, taking one part of your body, right, your head, twisting it to the left, and then wringing out your feet to the right. You
Is
wouldn't
it that
maybe
bad?
shit yourself a little bit?
I would
up?
shit. I would do. Is
Everything,
it that?
everything.
Is it scary?
It's not scary because there's something inside you chemically that your body's like, shh, you're supposed to be doing
Seriously?
this. You're supposed to be doing this. But it is scary because you feel like I've never done drugs. I've never been in rehab. But I imagine it's what, like, the worst heroin habit in the world, and they're trying to get you clean.
Really?
Like you're shaking and you're freaking out and you know what I mean? Your whole body is convulsing and you're just sweating and shitting yourself and throwing up and speaking in tongues and that's, and that's just when we were having sex. Boom! That's when we were just making the baby. Zinger! No, but that's what happened. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Now look, is it embarrassing? Yes, but I think the farting during oral sex is a little bit more embarrassing because that's kind of like, oh, maybe not everyone has done that, but almost every woman that has had a baby that's pushed it out the lobby. If it goes through the sunroof, that's different, obviously. Yeah. But if you're pushing it out through the lobby, you've probably shit yourself a couple times.
Now, in a moment of in giving birth, in a moment of sheer agony, do you think in Russian or in English?
English.
Really?
Yeah.
How old were you when you? What was
2?
You were 2. Oh, you.
Yeah.
So,
but I'll dream in Russian.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And I will say certain things. There's just certain phrases in Russian that just make more sense. It's almost like Ricky Ricardo, and he would just start rambling off in Spanish because it just comes out. It's like Michael say something to me, and I'll just, in Russian, say something that I can't even translate into English, but it so perfectly, expresses what I feel like. Are you fucking kidding me?
My favorite
just sounds.
My favorite. I say this to the girls all the time. Is it's better than Vamanos is Padyom. Padyom. Yeah. I love that. Let's go. I love that. And Kajol. Is that it? Am I saying right?
Yeah,
my Russian's so bad.
It's
that,
not
like,
bad, actually.
I tell people on stage, I go, I don't speak Russian, but I can't even say Strasvutia.
Yeah, I know you're saying it right.
But I used to say Strasvutia.
Well, that's incorrect. Yeah. You're putting the wrong accent on the wrong syllable. I had an audition 2 weeks ago for a Russian commercial. They came to me. It was like straight to producers type of thing. They know who I am.
Really?
They've seen me on whatever. They saw me on Tonight Show or something. I don't know. And I walk in. They know who I am.
Yeah.
And I walk in, and in Russian, the girl that checks, the actors in starts speaking to me in Russian. So I answer her in Russian. And from the other room, the audition room, the producer says, "She has a terrible American accent. No, thank you." So I didn't even audition.
Are you shitting me?
Just from like saying hello and, "Oh, should I sign in here?" in
Yeah.
Russian. They heard my awful American accent and wouldn't even let me audition.
It was a Russian commercial?
Yes.
God, I would
like
fucking
to play in
love.
Moscow.
I would love. How great would that be?
But dude,
How great would you trade? Be honest. Would you trade everything you got going on right now to be a movie star in Russia? You got to live in St. Petersburg.
Oh, no.
Really?
I couldn't. I'll tell you why.
Movie star.
I know.
Sitcom making like hardcore like 7 figures. 7 figures. You're living in
rubles or
no American. that's well, I don't even know what the ruble trades at right now. I know it was
7 figures.
It was 7. It was 7-1 when I was there. So
Yeah,
that would be fucking. Would you?
No, I couldn't. You know why? I'll tell you why. Russian people bug the shit out of me. They drive me fucking crazy.
Really?
I can't be in a room with more than like 3 or 4 of them. They're so backwards, and not like backwards like, we use an outhouse.
Yeah.
Not like that. Not like what you think about. They're just like their sensibilities, what they think is funny. I can't take it.
Did you see that documentary about Raymond when they wanted to do it?
Yes.
I did. I only watched the beginning of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
You got to watch it. It's exactly 100% on point. That's exactly how it is.
All I remember, my broad stroke of it was like, I remember the guy going, why would he let his wife talk to him like that? Wouldn't he just hit her? I'm sure that wasn't, yeah.
That's exactly it. I couldn't spend a lot of time with them if it's anything to do with creativity and being creative.
Yeah.
Because...
Well, this is, once again, I don't know, like some of my ideas that have been formed through life are so half-baked, I don't know where they come from. But I remember the fact that when we were in Russia, the language was there wasn't as much slang as there was in America. They didn't have like 9 words for everything. It was just, that's a car. It's a car. It's not,
right.
It's not a ride. It's not a whip. It's a car.
Yes.
That's all we call it, is a car. And there was
What year were you there?
95.
Oh, well, it's changed. It's changed.
Yeah. And but they were saying that, I remember my buddy Igor saying to me that in communism, there wasn't a lot of room for creativity. So that we don't have like 19 words for shit. It's like, the other thing I remember distinctly is that everyone held hands, everyone like held close and whispered. Their fucking subways were silent. I mean, you were on the subway and it was silent. No one said a word, and you were like, where are your black people? Like, where's someone going like, hey, motherfucker?
Right.
Yeah, like it's silent. I remember that's what I definitely remember. But I always thought that came back down to what you're saying is like the creativity and like the explosion of art, where we have 9 different words for everything we have. They had 1 word.
Well, I just remember speaking of subways, we were on the subway and we walked on. And of course, my dad and I, even though I felt like we looked like everybody else, we were there in 2002.
Oh,
so,
wow.
Yeah, I mean, everything,
Yeah.
perestroika, everything had already moved over. And they were all very westernized. Of course, not everybody, but we were in Moscow. The minute we walk on to the subway, all eyes are on us.
Really?
It's kind of like when you drive down Hollywood Boulevard and you can see the German tourists, the family, like right away, even though they might be wearing the same clothes you and I
Your clothes
are.
just look different.
There's like a glazed over look on their eyes.
Yeah.
There's something. There is something. And this one guy comes up to my dad, and you're right, he whispered to him. He kind of like leaned in, and he said, "Why are you smiling?"
Oh, shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Like I peed a little. You know what I mean? Like I was like, what's happening? And my dad's like, "Excuse me, what's going on?"
Your dad grew up? Did your dad grow up in Russia?
Right, yeah. Well, Moldavia. It was part of USSR.
Yeah.
It's now Moldavia. And my dad, like, did I mishear you type of thing? Like, I'm sorry, what? He's like, you walked onto this subway and you're smiling.
Oh,
we didn't even realize.
Yeah,
we
you're
were
just
so
like
American. We're like, hey, everybody. But we weren't. It was just more like you walk on, you make eye contact with someone, and you're just like, hey, how's it going? We're all taking the subway. Okay, let me sit down. And we didn't realize how jovial we looked.
Yeah, compared to them. They're all literally heads down. No one's making eye contact. No one's talking. And you guys walk in like it's Disney World. You're like, those escalators are fast.
Right. And I didn't even know. Maybe we were singing. Who knows? To them, you know what I mean? Like we were. My dad will like hum music for no reason.
Yeah.
Like he'll talk to you and continue humming in between sentences.
Yeah.
So maybe we were doing something.
Have you ever thought about doing stand-up in Russia?
I have. And I was very close. Do you want to come?
In a heartbit.
Okay.
In a heartbeat.
My stepmom, before she was married to my dad, was married to a actor who was basically the Robin Williams of Russia. He passed away. Savely Khramarov. He was the guy in Moscow on the Hudson who was the KGB officer chasing after Robin Williams and Ilya Baskin, who's also a family friend.
Yeah.
If anyone is old and remembers that movie.
I definitely remember that movie.
If you looked him up, he was also in other stuff. But in America, he never really made a name for himself. And then he unfortunately passed away from cancer. But in Russia, they have made probably a dozen documentaries about him.
Really?
So my stepmom is always flying to Moscow. If it's the anniversary of his death, anniversary of his birth, anniversary of the first time he farted during oral sex, whatever, you know what I mean? Like they will do a television special on him.
Really?
So my stepmom has a lot of connections in Moscow. So there are these guys with money that are constantly like, oh, we will do comedy show. We would do, because she's always talking about me, and pitching me to them.
Fuck.
So I was very close. I was on the phone with them, having meetings and talking about what I would need. I even contacted a couple of comedians, and a couple of them were like a little freaked out by it.
Well, I'd be nervous to go because I know my last interactions there were kind of treacherous, but I'd be nervous to go just because I'd be afraid I wouldn't provide what they wanted. Like I'm afraid my stand-up would be different than what they expected.
Right.
And you'd have to do it in Russian, right?
No.
You could do it in English?
There are tons of Australians and Canadians
I could bring in some Russian too. Just at the end of at the end of my catchphrase would be "Ти знаешь, что я говорю? Ти знаешь, что я говорю? Да, конечно."
I think the people that would go see stand-up would be very
fucking
Western.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'll do it in a heartbeat.
Yeah, because it was already like in the mix. It was already happening. But you know how these things go. It's like you got to start it, and then someone backs out, or like the money disappears, and you have to like start it again. So I'm in the process of.
Who's your manager?
He's not a comedy manager. He's my literary manager who.
Did you write a book?
Do I write a book?
Did you write a book?
No, scripts.
Oh.
Yeah.
Fucking
for
great.
writing. Yeah. I need a comedy manager. I'm
over at Levity. I love him.
Yeah.
I love Judy. I
like Judy too a lot. I don't know if she would ever represent me.
She would. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for Judy, but I love Levity. I'm so happy over there. I'd never been.
Well, they're like an empire. I mean.
Yeah, but not.
Yeah, they're building a club just for them, and
well, they definitely are looking at things a lot bigger than the
most
past.
Managers.
But I love them. I'll talk to Judy see if
I probably should
throw out some feelers.
I am in this place in my career. I don't know what my problem is. I have a really hard trust issue because I've been burned so many times with agents and managers, and even lawyers. So. I don't know. I got to get over it. It's kind of like a chick that's been dumped.
No, you know what it is?
I'll
be dead honest with you. This is way more than anyone that's ever going to listen to this ever cares to hear about. But I don't really care because this is how I feel. I've been with everyone's like, why are you talking about the industry shit? I don't give a shit. I've been with 4 agencies and 2 managers. The thing is. They don't give a shit until you're making money for them.
Right, of course.
Until you're making a dickload of money, then all of a sudden everyone's your best friend. And I've been with a bunch of agents throughout my career, and like all of a sudden, when I started making money, I had an agency reach out to me, UTA, and say we want to work with you. And I was like, well, fuck, that's never happened. And now they're amazing. They're amazing. But I think it's also because I might be making them money. But like I'll tell you, I've never had agents I take all of that back. The experience I'm having with UTA should be indicative of what's going on in this business, and say that is completely and totally different than what I've had. Because I've had a bunch of agents, and UTA is different. Chris Hart, Heidi, all my people at UTA are like hardcore gangsters when it comes to this fucking business. They're hungry, they're young, they want to make fucking money, and they're going at it.
But you had a show, okay, you had the Hurt Burt.
Hurt Burt was like,
you got yourself. You pitched it yourself, right?
Yeah, a long time ago.
Long time ago.
Yeah.
So you didn't have an agent or manager?
I was at ICM, and I have Bertcast.
Well, then, yeah, so
But yeah,
you were making money for that. But were you making money for them before you got to ICM?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's how I got ICM. I got a deal with Will Smith.
Right.
And so I got them. And then, ICM was fucking pointless.
So it's just a vicious circle is what I'm saying. It's like,
yeah.
I am making money right now, but it's not for other people. It's like for me, you know what I mean? But I'm doing it all myself, and I'm tired of doing it all myself.
You need to get someone in your corner.
I can't do it all. I'm doing everything. I'm doing all the booking. I'm all my writing gigs. I have an attorney, but I can't.
Yeah, you got you definitely you've got to get a booking agent, definitely a personal appearance person. That is number one, because that I could never do that. I could never do that. And then I want a personal assistant, to be dead honest with you, because I'm fucking exhausted. I want someone to run this podcast. Thank God you emailed me, because I would have never reached out. I don't have that that part of my personality is not like I have intimacy issues, so I would have never been like, Kira, will you please do my podcast? Because I'd be afraid you'd say no.
What?
Yeah, I know.
When I found out you had a podcast, I was like, Bert has a podcast.
Wait, how did you get the Tonight Show?
I got that because of Girls Behaving Badly. That hidden camera show from a million years ago.
We went on a date one time, and me and Leanne, and with Jason and Marnie, Jason Nash and Marnie Hochman. Marnie used to run Fox.
Okay.
Or like parts of Fox.
I know Jason.
You know Jason. You definitely know Jason. Yeah. He's a comic.
Yeah, okay, that I do.
And I remember Marnie going, so Leanne, you're on Girls Behaving Badly? And Leanne's like, no. And I remember her going, what's Girls Behaving Badly? This is before I met you. And then I Googled it, and I was like, oh, okay. And then I saw that. And it was you, Chelsea Peretti.
No, Chelsea Handler.
Oh, fuck. Fucking shit.
They're so similar.
I sound like an idiot. They're identical. Chelsea Handler. How the fuck did I mess that one up? You, Chelsea. Chelsea Peretti's on my mind because I listened to her and the Champs with Riff Raff.
Oh.
Fucking pointless. I'm just digressing obsessively. So it was you, Chelsea Handler.
Yeah.
That was it?
No, Chandrella.
Who's that?
Who was the only black person in Napoleon Dynamite. LaFonda.
That girl?
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
What's she doing now?
She's working. She's in movies. She and I are like really.
I just saw that movie this weekend.
I just saw her 2 nights ago at Retta's birthday party.
Really?
You know Retta?
No.
The comedian. She's on Parks and Rec right now. Yeah. So Shangela and I are still close. Like at my wedding, at the baby shower. Like so we're still friends. Yeah. And then there was another girl named Melissa, but she's, I don't think, in the business anymore. I don't know.
Really?
Yeah. So the 4 of us were the series regulars.
How did you guys get cast? Did you come up with it?
No, I didn't come up with it. I actually got cast. They did like this mini first season that was kind of like a half season, I think.
Yeah.
And then I came in after that. There was a whole new cast, except for Chelsea Handler was there from the beginning.
Really?
And then we did about, 4, 5 seasons.
Do you ever do Chelsea's show?
Oh, no.
Really?
No.
You guys not?
No. No. Yeah, that's probably all I should say right now.
Okay, all right. I never met her.
I don't think Chelsea really keep in touch with anybody from Girls Behaving Badly. So,
yeah. I never met her. I saw her perform once. I thought she was really funny.
You've never done her roundtable?
No,
because you'd be perfect for that.
No. A long time ago, I think I had my agent or my manager look into it because I was like, "Oh, it's a good show," but it didn't happen. And Chris Fangiola, was like, he asked to do a guest set on one of my shows, and I was like, "Of course." I mean, I don't care. Anyone can do a guest set.
Yeah.
But he was like, he came on, and he was like, stayed and watched me, and he was like, "You're amazing. You should not amazing. I'm telling you what he thought about my stand up. He thought it was funny. He said you should totally do the show, and I was like, I'd love to, and then never heard from him again. So I was
Well,
like, I was like, I'm sure that's what he says to everyone. It's like, there's no way that you don't say that to someone. You're like, you're really great. You should do Chelsea. I'm on that show. I'm one of the head writers. And I was like, oh, I appreciate it. And he was like, I'll get that to happen. And I'm sure he just says that to say that.
Sure.
As opposed to just go, hey, thanks a lot.
He says it to the guy at Gelson's.
Yeah,
hey, I like the way you bag those groceries.
Yes.
You should do Chelsea's show.
So,
you're amazing.
Yeah, I've never done it. But not that.
I don't think you need to. I mean,
I'm
you have your own shows. You're busy.
Yeah, I don't know if I had a hard time doing not Who Loves the 80s, but like one of those VH1 shows.
Those clip shows?
Yeah, where you shit on people.
Yeah.
Because I remember I was supposed to shit on Angelina Jolie, and I wouldn't do it. And I was like, because the guy was like, you got to like talk bad about her. And I go, yeah, but what if she sees this?
Well, you know what? Honestly, that's one of my things. I did those clip shows a long time ago, and I felt like, one day I would like to maybe work with these people. You never know in our business. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, Dov Davidoff works with Mark Wahlberg. You know what I mean? It's like you never know who you're going to run into. So I also had a problem. I feel like maybe it's, I don't know. Maybe it's like I want to be friends with everybody.
It's just like, here's the thing. There was a guy on Golf Channel this weekend that was making me fucking irate. He was talking about Tiger and how Tiger should disqualify himself, do the right thing. And he looked like a tired fucking Jim Neighbors. Like he was exhausting me, and I was so angry. And I found him on Twitter, and I fucking wrote a very biting, very funny tweet to him, and I went, what the fuck am I doing? I was like, I don't like these tweets.
Right.
Why would I do this to another human being? So I fucking deleted it. But then I continued watching him yelling at the TV. But I was like, I don't, like, what am I doing? Am I really shitting on someone just like people would do me?
Right, exactly.
And so I didn't do it. And I was like, holy shit. I wish there was a way to get patted on the back for this, for not sending out shitty tweets. But that's ultimately, it's the same thing I have the problem with, when I did those, when I did the I Love the 90s or whatever it was. I was like, I don't want to shit on Angelina Jolie. She's awesome.
Well, honestly, I find myself in that same predicament all the time because now everything is, you got to be, prominent on Twitter. You got to say something snarky and funny and crazy and blah, blah, blah. And I don't engage in that because what if someone takes it the wrong way? Or what if I, reply to someone in like a kind of sarcastic way and it doesn't read that way, and they're like, fuck you, bitch. And I was like, holy shit, that's not what I meant.
Yeah, you just have to, do you need to get that?
No.
You just have to either not give a shit or give a shit. You're one of two people. You either care what people think about you or you really don't care. Like Jim Norton got into it with Michael Lohan. Am I saying that right?
Lindsay Lohan's dad?
Right. He got into it with him this weekend, and I was watching the drama. So fucking interesting. Yeah, I was watching it break down, and I was excited. I was excited like a voyeur. I was sitting there on the treadmill, and I was waiting for Jim to reply, and then when he did, I was like, stopped running, and I read his reply, and then I was like, oh shit. And then I tracked it, and I was like, oh my God, 153 retweets? And then I was like, what is wrong with me? Like...
Well, maybe that's what that's the entertainment of it. You know? That's entertainment. Are you going to be entertained by it, or are you going to jump in and start some shit yourself?
Yeah. Well, I
don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could get in a fight with Michael Lohan.
I couldn't.
Why? I don't get it. Like, to me...
I couldn't, but Jim Norton did it on accident. Or not on accident, but he was just talking about Lindsay Lohan and saying... just his opinion about her, and Michael Lohan heard it, and then he came after Jim, and then Jim was like, he deleted this tweet, but I thought this was a really good tweet. He was like, listen, beat me up, knock my teeth out, do whatever you need to do, just don't teach me how to raise children. I was like, fucking Norton, if you're gonna pick a fight with anyone, not Norton. Like, he literally has nothing but time to think about how to fucking tear you down. Yeah, and he's so quick. And
he's so quick, and he's so good at it. He'll be better than Michael Lohan.
He's a fucking monster.
Yeah, in a minute. I don't know. I
know what you're saying.
I feel like I need to have more of that presence, though. I don't have that.
No, you don't.
I just don't.
How many followers do you have?
Oh God, I don't tweet very often. I don't even think I have 1,000, honestly.
Seriously?
I don't do anything on it because
everyone right now.
I know I have to.
You'll definitely get 50,000 followers right now.
Right. It's funny because I am late to the game for so many things. A friend of mine said,
But you're not. You're doing it right. You're doing this business right, for the record.
But what's right?
You're on TV.
Okay.
You're funny as shit.
That doesn't matter. That's like being funny is just in a vacuum at this point. It is
Really?
because if it doesn't matter now unless you are.
You're right. I know what you're saying right now. You're right. You're right.
Unless
it doesn't
you're
matter.
Starting some shit. It's now what's happened with comedy because anybody can now say they're a comedian because they put on a funny video and they're on YouTube and they're on the thing and
You get 200,000 followers on Twitter, and
now
you are a stand-up comedian who can tour theaters, and you can't do stand-up. You don't know how to do stand-up, but people will come see you.
Exactly. So it's changed the whole game. So I am very slow to change over. I do it. I do, the Facebook and all that bullshit, but there's something about me that feels like I got into stand-up because I want to be on a stage with people in a dark room with low-ass ceilings and I want to tell jokes and I want to be in that moment.
Here's what's going to happen, and I do believe in this. I believe this is what's happening with my career right now, is that all those things that are say maybe the detractors of comedy, where you think, well, this guy just has a TV show, or he was a movie star and now he's touring and he's selling out theaters or selling out clubs, but he doesn't know how to do stand-up, and that's bad for the business. It's not bad for the business. It's all good for the business, because those people become fans of comedy, and then they come see you and you rip it, and they're like, holy fucking shit, who is this person? And they discover you. And no one loves anything more than discovering something and telling their friends. Remember the first time you discovered Nirvana or Pearl Jam? It's the same shit that will, in a matter of months, I believe that, happen with you. There's a lot of guys that are doing stand-up right now that are not traditional stand-ups. They didn't start in the clubs.
Yeah.
They were movie stars or TV stars, or Twitter stars, or MySpace stars, and then they got a following, and then they can sell tickets. And they don't put on bad shows. There are very few people I've ever heard where the clubs are like, they're horrible. I've heard one person.
Yeah, I've heard one comic.
One person who they're like, he's so bad, it is almost a criminal act that he got on stage.
Yeah.
But and I'll say positively, like Tom Green puts on a great show from what I hear. Rob Schneider, who is a traditional stand-up, who started in stand-up, is now doing the clubs. Great show. Like, there's a lot of guys doing great shows. Steve-O, great show. There's a lot of guys doing great shows. What is happening, though, is they're bringing people to the clubs, and your name is on that little fucking fold-up tent thing in the thing.
That's true.
And people are coming to these clubs and being familiar with these clubs, and then looking at the lineup and going, oh, shit, I know her. Oh, maybe we'll come out here, honey. We should go see her. And then you go in and rip it. And I don't think these guys would ever deny that someone who started to stand up, like us, and we are the people that are going to carry the business forward.
Right.
And they come see us, and then they're like, holy shit, what the fuck? Like, I know you hear this. I know you hear this all the time. This is this is the best show we've ever been to. I know you hear that all the time.
You know what? I am fortunate to hear that. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, are they just being kind?
No.
Maybe.
No. I would never. Who takes time out of their fucking day to stop off and tell someone that?
Well, yes, but and I always appreciate that, because that's part of the instant gratification.
Yeah, that's why we do it.
That's why we do
Yeah.
it.
I'd be a painter if I wanted fucking residual gratification.
Right. But that's kind of what I feel like some of these other outlets are. I don't know. I need to throw away that old mindset and just jump in. I feel like stand-up used to be jump rope, right? And it's like there's like two people on a rope, and they're swinging the rope, and you like figure out where to go, and you jump in, and you're like jumping. All right, here I am. And now all of a sudden it's double dutch. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm gonna get tripped up. How do I don't even know where to jump in.
Because there's so much going on.
And now the whole industry is like ta 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 ta, and it's flips and it's jumps, and it's like, holy shit, what happened to just jump rope?
Yeah.
Why do I have to do handstands while two ropes are like
Look
trying
at
to
Bill Burr.
suffocate me?
He's just jump roping. Bill Burr is jump rope. Louis C.K. They're They're doing jump rope. I wish you got to get to that place.
Yeah.
Like right now, I know what you're saying. Me and you are fucking double dutching, juggling at the same time, trying to get sure someone knows that we can jump fucking rope.
Right.
I know exactly what you're saying.
I just shot a pilot, right? I'm not going to say it's a cable network. It's not anything huge. It's like a variety show. I'm hosting it. And they were beyond thrilled, right? They're like, yeah, female, prime time, this is perfect. Love the cuts that they gave to network. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're like, we just don't know if a female comic can handle a show.
What?
Do you know what I mean? It's like this, just put it on the air. Just put the pilot. Just show it to people.
Yeah.
Don't try to be the Suits, the number crunchers, and figure out. Just let the people decide. It's like, I feel like a comedy show. Like, let them watch it, and if they laugh, then they like it. Let's do it again.
Yeah.
And that's the part that I feel like is the double judge.
Have some balls.
Also.
That's what I want to say.
Yeah, you guys already put
No
the money
one's taking
forward
chances anymore.
to the pilot. Like, just do it.
It's
drives me bananas.
It's the reason that everything on the internet is it's the reason that bundling and this media outlet that is Apple TV or Google TV.
Right.
It's the reason it's successful is because people that are putting things on the internet are taking chances, and a lot of the networks there's so much out there that they're afraid to take a chance and fail hugely because they'll lose their job. A lot of it's just keeping jobs. Like, a lot of people just want to keep their job.
Absolutely true. And one thing my husband said that makes sense to me, but what if I go in, I'm a network exec, right? And I go in and I say, I want to pitch this show called Bert's Beard, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And you have a fantastic beard right now. So it's called Bert's Beard. And this network is like, I don't know, it's kind of risky. No one ever has done a beard show before. And then you, Bert, go to another network and you say, hey, do you think you'd like a show called Bert's Beard? And that network picks it up and it's like the #1 show on television.
Yeah.
I could also lose my job because I said no.
The famous story in the industry is a lot of people will brag about how they passed on Duck Dynasty.
Right.
That's everyone.
My husband works for that production company.
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Everyone talks about how they passed on Duck Dynasty. And you're like, why would you brag about that?
Right.
Like, that's a hit show.
Right.
Like, but yeah, I'm not a Suit, so I'll never know those answers.
I know.
I'm sure I know for a fact that I don't know. I'm not those people. Fuck them.
I don't know. It's just I feel like I need to jump.
Not fuck them, guys. You guys pay our bills. I didn't mean it that way. I've definitely been a lot more conscious of my words since I started doing this podcast. Yeah, I don't ever want to talk bad about anyone because then you have to edit it out and you're like, oh fuck.
Yeah, but you have to. I mean,
be honest.
Be a little bit honest. I mean, you don't want to like shit on somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, I've heard some podcasts where they'll call people out on the mat.
Oh yeah, I'm shocked people do that.
Yeah,
I'm like, I
think you and I are the same that way. It's like, I don't want
the drama.
I don't want the repercussions.
Yeah,
coming chasing after me and shit.
I don't want just unnecessary drama.
Right.
Like just that fucking that shrapnel that happens.
Yes.
When you just say something, you were just being honest, and you're like. And then all of a sudden, everyone fucking explodes.
Okay, so can I ask you a question just
Shoot.
to take it back to your kids? Because I always feel like sometimes I take what I'm learning in comedy and I try to apply it to my kid. Do you do that sometimes with your kids? Like, I'll tell even though he's 2, he understands a lot. He's a bright kid. I'll tell him, I'll be like, dude, I'll literally sit him down and be like, dude, right now, what you're doing is you're causing unnecessary drama. Do you understand? Like, you need to chillax and let's do some namaste breathing.
Yeah.
And I will talk to him like that because that's how I feel about like my career and my life, and I'll bring it into parenting. Like, do you do that?
No, I'm a horrible parent when it comes to that.
No, you're not.
Here's what I do. Here's my default, and I say this about Isla exclusively. Georgia is a dream. Georgia, literally, it's because Isla's such a nightmare sometimes. Georgia, almost, it's like she's doing it to be a bitch. She'll get her backpack on and just wait by the door like, I'm ready.
I got my shit together.
Yeah. Guys, there's a problem in this house and it's not me. So, but whenever they're having a bad time, I just try to make them laugh. I just sizzle it down to that.
Yeah.
And if you can make Isla laugh, you can get her to do shit. So like she has a really hard time getting dressed for school. Like Leanne could talk for 2 hours about that. And Leanne and her butt fucking heads. Like they're the same person. They just butt heads. Isla will be like, I don't want to. And Leanne's like, then I don't want to. And you're like, oh my God. So I'll come in and I'll be like, Isla, let me just put you in the closet. She's like, what? And I go, no, you need to stay in the closet. And I'll pick her up. And she'll like, Daddy, stop. And I go, no, me and you are both going to hang out in the closet. So I'll go in the closet and I'll shut the door and I'll go, are we having a good time? And then she'll start laughing going, Daddy, get us out of here. And I'm like, no, we're going to hang out in here until and then I'll get her to laugh that way. And then once she starts laughing, you can get her dressed. Right. I don't ever match their energy, and Leanne definitely does. Like she will butt heads.
Yeah.
But yeah, I my whole thing is like try to get them to laugh.
So you do. So the answer is yes.
What?
The answer is yes, because that's what you try to do on stage.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Connect with you.
Oh yeah. I'm sorry.
Right.
Yes.
So
yes.
that's how you handle your career life. Is like
Yeah.
I just want to be funny.
I'm non-confrontational in every respect.
Yeah.
I just want to be funny, and I do that with the girls. I do that with all the time.
Yeah.
That and I overspend on them. I buy them presents like crazy. Can't help it.
Because
it's the way I fix
road.
things.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll love it.
Yeah. Have you ever had a dude try to hook up with you on the road?
I don't know if they have, because I'm kind of an idiot when it comes to that. I really
Were you fat as a kid or something?
No.
Then, like, how are you an idiot to that?
Because I have only had 2 one-night stands on the road as a comic.
Really?
Actually, no, wait. 3 in my whole life.
Seriously?
Yeah. When I was single, I just did not.
You weren't.
It doesn't.
Me either. I've only had like probably 2 one-night stands.
And
3.
can I tell you, one of them was in Japan, and I think it's because I was homesick.
With a Japanese dude?
No.
Oh.
He was an Air Force guy that came. It was like a military show.
Yeah.
So one of the Air Force guys that came to see my show.
Crew cut?
Yeah, but not like severe, not aggressive.
Yeah.
Not like in a, we're going to get us some coloreds. Not,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like, not like in a scary way. You know what I mean? Like in a, okay, that could
Oh my
pass
God.
in society. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Because there are some of them that are like really, like jarheads make me nervous. No
Really?
offense to anyone that, yeah. Because it says
They
something
make me
to
comfortable.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you from the South?
Yeah, I'm from the South.
Oh.
I see a guy like that, and I'm like, I can talk to this guy forever.
See, I'm the
Hipsters make me
opposite.
uncomfortable.
Really?
Oh, if I see you in skinny jeans with a weird haircut and you have a comic book in your hand, I'm like, I don't know what to say to you. I'm like, I guess childhood was tough.
With their Dungeons and Dragons game pieces.
Yeah,
You're
I went to
don't know.
Meltdown.
Yeah. I love that.
I was about to call it Nerd Meltdown.
It's like 5
Nerdist.
different names.
Nerdist
There's the
or
Meltdown
something.
Theater, the Nerdist, the Nerd Melt. Yeah, there's like 5
And I
different
walked
names.
around and I seriously said to the guy that was working there, I go, do adults, is this for adults or
Yes,
children?
it is.
And he was like, it's just adults. And I went, do
yeah.
kids come in here? And he goes, sometimes. I was blown away. I was like, fucking adults are into this?
Yeah, and there are a million comic books. And my husband's kind of into them. Not
Yeah.
like he'll sit down and read them, but he'll understand them. Like
Yeah.
he knows what's going on in that world.
I wish
And-
I was into it.
Well,
I would love to
it's-
have something like that I was really into, that I could buy a figurine, like and be in, and that would excite me. Like I'm being serious when I say this. I'm not shitting on them, but like if I could see like a figurine and be like genuinely like excited, I would fucking love that. I don't have that in my life. I get like I go to
You
sporting
got
goods
excited when
stores.
you open up your mini fridge with the beers. Maybe
Yeah, but they're half
maybe your
gone. I don't
beers
know
are
where the fuck they are.
figurines.
The like I get excited when I go like knives. Knives is something I get
Right.
excited about. Like
Yeah.
I'm not collecting, but I definitely when I'm on the road, if I see a knife that I like, I buy it and then I sit in bed with it and open and close it like a fucking lunatic.
Are you serious?
Knives and
Then how do you travel with it?
in my bags, but I've snuck them onto planes before on accident because I checked them on and I was like, motherfucker, it's in my
Yeah.
bag. So, but knives and sporting goods stores. I go to a sporting goods store and walk around for hours.
You know, Mike can do that too. My husband could go to a sporting goods store and look at every item.
Everything.
As if he
Everything.
is surveying it. Like as if
Everything.
he's doing inventory for them.
I would almost appreciate going with him and doing that together. Like I
He-
could go
he
to
loves
sporting
it.
goods stores. I could go to a sporting goods store and literally start along the walls, work
Yeah,
my way through
yeah,
everything, even
yeah.
the women's clothes. I fucking love that.
He loves it. And for people that think that guys don't like to shop, they're so wrong.
Yeah.
Because my husband, it's not like he likes to shop. Like, ooh, let me see these shoes. These are cute.
Yeah.
It's like he likes to walk around and look in display cases.
Yeah.
At stuff.
Oh,
You know what I mean? Like
I-
he will go to even like where did he like to go recently? Oh, he plays hockey. So he went to
Really?
like a hockey store in Anaheim. There is a huge ass warehouse, and he just walks around. You don't need new shoulder pads. I know I don't need new shoulder, but look, these are kind of cool because they have this new gel thing, and I'm like, dude, are you serious?
dude, Sports Chalet used to be my haven.
Yeah.
Like Leanne had an intervention with me, and she was like, "You got to stop going there because you're not buying a ton of shit, but you're buying something every time you go there."
Yeah.
And she's like, every day, but I could go to Sports Chalet. I would take Georgia and Isla to Sports Chalet, like when it's Daddy's Day. and Leanne had to go to work or whatever, I'd take the girls to Sports Chalet and we walk around. And
they would be like, what, okay with it? They're cool with it?
Oh, I buy them shit. I just buy them shit. You guys want new shoes? You guys want, I love sporting goods stores, but I would love to, when I went to Nerdist Meltdown,
right?
I was so badly, was like, I wish I was into this shit.
There are way too many. I feel like that's just my personal opinion. The comic books are forever. Come on, geeks, get it together. Like, let's figure out which superheroes you guys like and fucking do it. It can't be like X-Ray Man, and it can't be like Super Duper Fist Dude.
Someone told me they go, Walking Dead, the TV show, was actually a comic book.
Yeah,
and they were like, you should get the comic book, and I went and looked at it.
Yeah,
in a Barnes & Noble. It was in a Barnes & Noble in the graphic novel area,
right?
And I was like, well, why the fuck would I read it when it's on TV? Like,
right.
Are you out of your fucking mind? You think it's going to be better? Me flipping page to page? Fuck that.
I don't know. I'll
let these people invest $2 million an episode and I'll enjoy that.
There's so much money in that whole world. That whole world. Those Comic-Con people. Yeah. There's so much money. And now everybody's doing it. Like now, any TV show. I'm surprised Duck Dynasty doesn't have their own comic book and they go to Comic-Con and cash in on that.
Yeah, I guess it has to come organically. Like I guess I say nerd affectionately.
Of course.
But I guess nerds seek out nerds and they respect nerds and they know if it's not nerd.
They absolutely do know.
Yeah.
But people go now trying to push... I mean, they'll try to push whatever movie that they're doing
through the nerds.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're like, well, this is a demographic.
Hangover
it's
5.
Like, yeah, it's
and
the same. I saw the body. Did you see the trailer for Hangover 3?
3. Yeah.
I saw it.
Yeah.
What'd
you think?
I was on the fence.
I don't know. It just felt
I'll see it. It
felt like the stuff on the editing room floor.
Yeah. I'll see it. I'll definitely see it.
Of course.
So
I'll see it because I love Zach.
Yeah.
I would watch Zach fucking
eat crackers.
Anything. I would watch him sit with a magnifying glass and burn ants with the sun. I would watch him. And for the record,
I will say this about you and me at the same time. I would have watched him do it 10 years ago.
Oh, even more so.
Yeah. He's one of the most fascinating people I've ever run past in my life.
He's
in
great.
In every respect. His stand-up was awesome.
I've seen his ass and his balls.
Yeah?
There are a couple comics that I've seen their asses.
I might be in that group.
Oh, I've seen your balls. I have. I've seen everything. I've seen the whole kit and caboodle.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It was New Year's, and you were wearing the diaper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have watched Zach do anything 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was.
I remember I went to his hotel room with me, him, and Nick Swartzen, and then some girls, bunch of girls.
That must have been fun.
So we were partying in New York. This is when I was very young in stand up, and I didn't really know Zach at all. I want to say he didn't even have a beard. This is how long ago it was.
Not even.
I remember he had ICM scripts all over the floor, or like they were all over the place. And it was at the Gramercy Park Hotel, and we walked in we were with a bunch of girls, and I think we maybe smoked a joint. And then Zach took me through a very elaborate tour of his hotel room, which ended in the bathroom, and him explaining to me why the bathroom was so cool because it had a bottle opener in it. And I was like, I remember just sitting there going, who the fuck is this guy? He was literally walking me through the bathroom and how great it was. And I was like, what the fuck?
Like, seriously? Or was he being...
He was being dead fucking serious. He was being dead serious.
How long could a bathroom tour take? How much
We
stuff
sat in this fucking bathroom, I want to say for 20 minutes, with him explaining. And I will tell you this much. I have since stayed at the Gramercy Park Hotel. I think it's closed. I think it's a condominiums now or something. But I stayed there, and I only stayed there because of fucking Zach. Because I was like, they're like, where do you want to stay? I was like, Gramercy Park Hotel. They got a bottle opener in the bathroom. Great tiles. Fucking awesome tiles. Old school. They don't make tiles like this anymore. Take a look at the fucking work in here. I remember him doing that for like 20 minutes, and I was like, it was, and I was listening. I was like, wow, that is awesome. And he goes, and a bottle. He kept coming back to the bottle opener. There's a bottle opener in the bathroom. I mean, where are you going to find that? Where are you going to find that? You think you're getting that at a Hilton? No, this is old. I remember literally just being like, yeah. And if I had a nickel for every time I went into the bathroom to open a bottle in the Gramercy Park Hotel.
Honestly, I've never seen a bottle opener in the bathroom. So
Gramercy Park Hotel. Yeah, I think it's closed. I think it's condominiums now. But that was where they had bottle openers in the bathroom.
He was already looking at scripts back then, like 10 years ago.
Oh, he's been successful. He's been
very
successful.
I remember when his talk show on VH1 came out.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the dude from, because I always did Comedy Union with him.
Yeah. Comedy Union.
Pico, like
The Black
down-
Club?
Yes,
Really?
always. I always. It's as if he and I were there every week for the same show. I think
Yeah.
for a while. That's where I saw his ass and his nuts. Like he would do like really weird, bizarre, avant-garde.
Really,
like, I'm
really?
just gonna try this out. Like remember he did a set once and he didn't even speak. He just kind of gave crazy facial expressions, and we just all like laughed. We're just all on the floor laughing. And then the next day, I saw a billboard with his face for his VH1 show.
He's someone who's definitely always taking chances.
Yeah.
Like I would say I definitely take chances, but I take chances in a very safe way. Like I don't take chances the way he took chances.
Well, like I feel like maybe you and I are the same in the sense of we always paint with our color palette. It might be dark blue or
Yeah.
neon blue or
Yeah.
light or this, but it's all you know what I mean. Like I do, I'm the same
Yeah.
way. I tend to stay within what my safety
that's a
is. But I
really good
go
analogy.
to
Yeah.
different degrees of it. I'll do hot pink. I'll do deep magenta, but I'm kind of you know what you're gonna get most of the time.
God.
Doesn't say I don't explore. I'll explore with a little yellow once in a while, and I'll be like,
Yeah.
ooh, that's uncomfortable for me. But I did it. But now I know I feel safer in this shade.
That is a
of
really fucking great
rosé.
analogy.
Yeah.
That is a really great analogy.
But there's a lot there. Look, go to any fucking paint store. There are a million colors of beige. So
Yeah.
it doesn't mean you're boring if you stay in that color palette.
Zach was painting with black,
Everything.
then white,
Stripes,
then
polka dot.
yeah.
He was
plaids.
Yeah.
And you were just like, what the fuck?
yeah, mixing stripes.
But it's gotta be exhausting then to try to keep up with that. It's probably why he didn't do stand up anymore.
Well, I think because he always did it. I know what you mean. Like, it's exhausting if you think of it like, oh, shit, I got to experiment. I'm in the same color
It's like
palette.
people come to see you because they want to see what you'll do next. And you're like,
Right.
you know?
But I don't think he ever looked at it that way. I think he was always like, well, last week I sang one of my bits. So this week I'll play the spoons and see what happens. You know,
Yeah.
he didn't really, I don't think.
I don't think
not
he's,
trying to
yeah, you're
analyze
probably, yeah.
Zach.
I'm analyzing him as if I have to do his act.
Right.
And I'd be like, that would be fucking exhausting.
That would be exhausting.
I'd rather just go up and talk about me
But,
for
you know,
fucking an hour.
I do that sometimes. I find myself doing that, and I have to stop. Where I go, "Oh man, that comic wrote his jokes like that. Holy, like what must that process be like?" And then I realize, well, that's his or her process. Nothing
Yeah.
to do with me.
Have you talked about your kid much on stage?
I do, but I
Yeah.
don't talk about him. I talk about what my life is as a result to now having him.
Yeah.
Like I talk about the exhaustion. I talk about Mike and I and how it's different. I mean, and again, we're talking like our spouses. Mike sometimes doesn't approve of the bits I do, but I explain to him that, dude, do we drive cars? I mean, like,
Yeah.
are we? I'm not saying that he doesn't. He has a huge penis. I'm not trying to emasculate.
You're like, listen,
But
do you want to not worry about
calling his
is that
ears
him?
burning, yeah.
Just take a caller.
Oh no, he's cool. It's cool.
Take a caller.
Fine, take my caller,
Yeah.
please. But he knows. He's like, all right, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Just do what you have to do. He knows I'll draw the line. He knows that I'm actually conservative when it comes to.
Oh yeah,
know.
I'm talking. You know what I'm talking about right now on stage? Or I'm trying to figure out on stage is, when you're single, you have your friends, and then you get dating, and you start kind of meshing into your wife's friends and couple friends.
Yeah.
Then you get married, and you have your married friends, and then once you have kids, you start having friends that had kids the same time you did, and then you have those friends. You think those would be your friends forever, and then you
Right.
go to schools,
And then
it's a brand new
it's
it's a brand new
school.
set of friends. I haven't had the same friends in fucking 10 years. Like
But you have your comedy base, right? Like
that's the only thing I have
a
close.
comedy
But
base of
yeah,
friends?
yeah, but my wife is like, like
She doesn't approve of some.
no,
of
she
them.
totally approves of them. I'm not saying that at all, but like they are definitely like. I mean, you look at like Joey Diaz,
Joey? Oh, yeah.
Joey Diaz and Ari Shafir and
Yeah.
Tom Segura and Rogan and all these guys are like they're living their life very hardcore. They're fucking
But Tom's married now.
yeah, but Tom's still a
But they're,
mess.
I mean, they're trying to have a baby, right? They're
I don't
gonna
think
be
so.
in that. No?
I think no, not yet. I think they are now.
Oh, I think
I think-
Christina pulled the goalie. Maybe he needs to know about that.
No, she did, didn't she?
I mean, I just saw her. We just shot a pilot together.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They had that dog, and that dog got sick, and then after the dog got sick, I think Push realized she wanted a kid,
Yeah.
and so I think they're working towards it.
Yeah. We were chatting about it. She was asking me, well, you know,
And she
this
she
stuff.
talked to Leanne about it. She was like, I'm up for the next. I hate talking about Christina getting pregnant on this podcast, but I think she's.
Well, it's true. It is very true, and I am with you on that. Like, I do have a whole new group of friends now, my mom group, and
Yeah.
And I mean, look, I'm sitting here looking at your backyard, going, I wonder if I can get my kid to come play in Bert's backyard on this
On the slack line. On the slack line's amazing.
What
We'll
is that?
just include you. Like, Leanne does parties all the time. Like when I'm in town, she'll just throw a big party. And then what the best part of these parties is, like, last week was Easter, the episode I aired.
Yeah.
And we just had a huge party, and everyone's over here, and then all the comics come in the man cave. We do a podcast, and all the kids are in the background. You'd fucking love it. You would love it.
Yes.
It's like,
my kid loves older women. He'd
love my wife.
I was going more towards your daughters.
My daughters would fucking
falls in love with like a 6-year-old is his ideal. Like,
Isla.
that gets him half hard.
Isla,
Really?
Isla would fucking love that.
He will follow a 6-year-old girl around to the end of the earth.
Oh, Isla would love that.
To her. He's a talker. He'll be like, "So, how's your day so far?" Like, he's all up. He's gonna be I think he's gonna be a good boyfriend.
I bet.
You know what I mean? Because he's always like, "So, what do you like to do?" Like, he's like, he wants to know about women and like what their needs are, and like talk to them and like share.
We gotta have you guys over.
Yeah,
we'll do like a big party. I'm not home for a few weeks.
Last time I saw you, I don't know if you saw him, but it was at Ralphie May's kid's August birthday. That's the last time I saw you.
Oh,
when I finally met your wife, and I was so excited to meet her. I was like, "Oh my gosh!"
I totally
Bert's
remember that.
wife.
I totally remember that.
You are a real person.
Yeah, I haven't seen Ralphie in forever.
That's the last time I saw them was at August party, and there was a pony. Dude, there was a pony.
Ralphie goes big. Let me tell you
pony.
something. He goes big at those kids'
Yeah.
parties. Any party he throws is like fucking through the roof. And what's crazy is he didn't have like a yard.
No.
So it's all on the street.
And you have to love your neighbors.
They definitely.
Up in the Hollywood Hills. I went to a party in the Hollywood Hills, and they gave you an email with your name and an address. And they said, "Bert, you can park at 3142.
Shut the fuck up.
Because that's our and we all parked in one of their neighbors' driveways.
How great is that?
How much they get along in the Hollywood Hills because there's nowhere to park.
We'll never leave the valley.
One lane, and you like their house is on the side of a cliff.
Yeah.
You have to belay to get to their. It's like on belay, like you a harness to get to their freaking front door. They live on the side of the mountain. Like there's no more mountain when you get to their house. It's bananas.
We'll never leave the valley.
Yeah.
Leanne is so happy here. Like the fact that we have a backyard. We'll never leave this house because of this man cave. Like we'll never.
How long have you guys lived here?
2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're
about 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
we just
good.
refinanced too.
You bought it at a good time.
We bought it at a good time. We just refinanced. We're going to redo the kitchen and bathroom, and I don't know. And then I kind of want a new house.
What?
Yeah, it's a great house. It's a great house.
Great
but
house.
I just want it's a great house if you're this house will sell to a wealthy divorced father. That's what it's great for. It's horrible for a family.
Weekend kids.
My daughters have a hard time selling the car. We're trying to buy a new car, and my daughters are not cool with my wife getting rid of her car.
But how many bedrooms do you have here?
2.
Oh.
2 girls, 1 bedroom. Me and Leanne in the other.
Dude, your man cave is probably bigger than your kid.
My man cave is bigger than my room. It's bigger than my daughter's. This is the best room in the fucking house. We come out in the backyard. We all sit out here. We have friends over, and we all just come out here. No one hangs out in the house.
Yeah.
The house is an afterthought.
Okay, maybe you do need a bigger house.
Yeah. It's like, but it's lopsided. People are going to come look at the house and go, fuck, I'll pay $500,000 for the man cave. But fuck the house. Can we get rid of the house and tear it down and build a new one to match the man cave?
So do you know what my chick cave would be?
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
If I had my druthers, let's say I had this room.
Your mom cave?
I feel like it should be a diaper changing table if it's a mom cave. No, chick cave.
Yeah.
Chick cave. I would put you have a flat screen TV and a bar over here.
Yeah.
I would put a steam room over here. And a sauna on the other side.
Fuck, I would
And then
love.
a couch and just like a hot towel warmer thing. You know those things you get out?
Yes.
And everyone just sit and just steam like Russian style.
Oh, God.
Do you know what Vanyiki are? Did you ever like go to like a dacha or anywhere in
Yeah,
Russia or like a sauna?
I went to in lower for trip flip. I made them take us to the Russian baths down on the Lower East Side.
Yes.
Fucking
Where
with
they
the
beat
birch
you?
bath.
Yes.
I fucking love that.
That's what
I've
I would
never
do.
felt better in my
It's
life.
the best feeling in the world.
Oh, it's the best.
You detox every bad choice you ever made in your life in 20 minutes.
You
in
go
a
into
Russian
a
banya.
cold,
You do
and
a
then
cold plunge. I would do a cold plunge. I'm about to say, you let me
Yes,
finish.
yes.
A cold plunge right there, a pool.
Yes.
It's not a fucking jacuzzi that's all full of like bubbles
It's-
and syphilis. I'm not into jacuzzis.
Yeah.
Cold plunge.
Yes.
Boom. Close your pores. Come back. Sit in the sauna again.
I did that in the Lower East Side on
hot
Trip
tea.
Flip, and it's
Yeah.
and I swear to God when I say this, that is the segment that sold me on the show. When I talked to Andy Singer, who's my boss, and he was like, "We got this show. Tell me if you're interested." All he said was, "Take me on vacations of a lifetime. It'd be really cool. It's like different. So like, say you go to New York, you don't go and do the typical stuff. You go to the dachas or whatever down
the banya. It's called banya.
Banya, and he goes, you go to and you do like the Russian baths, and I was like, I'm in. I've always wanted to do that my entire
Did you see the
life.
crazy Russians sitting there? Were they wearing the hats?
I think the guy had herpes too.
Oh,
like
yeah,
the guy that
probably.
did me, he had herpes on his lips, and I was like, oh God, this is bad. We were like, crop that out. Can someone not shoot his lips?
Can we get last looks, makeup?
Yeah.
Yeah, the banyas. Like, I go to Korean baths here in LA.
Naked?
Of course.
No, you go naked the whole time?
Absolutely.
That's so funny. Did you read what Margaret Cho said about her going to one of them?
Oh, no. What happened?
She went to one of them, and she went and was naked, but she has tattoos. And the Korean women asked her to put on clothes. Yeah.
Well, the Korean women. Does she speak Korean?
She does.
She
yeah.
does. Okay. They will
I
talk-
don't know. I don't know.
They will talk about your vagina in Korean, but to your face.
Really?
Yes, because I don't want to get too graphic, but you know, I clean up American style, not too
Yeah.
much, not too little.
Yeah.
And I was standing at my locker. And these
That is
Korean women-
that is the statement, by the way, that's going to get everyone to Google to see what you look like right now. They're like, "Fuck, I want to." Let me just imagine that real quick.
No, it's like it's tidy. It's not like a 90-year-old Mexican
Yeah.
that takes care of it. Who's I'm
Yeah.
kidding. Your backyard is great.
It's not a 90-year-old Mexican. Oh, I'm opening another beer. Fuck pickup.
But you know what I mean? The Koreans were staring at me. I'm completely naked. You know, I'm standing in my locker, getting dressed, toweling off, and they're pointing to my lady business, talking about it in Korean.
Really?
Oh yeah, they
So what's
are
that?
very.
Do you get embarrassed when you when you're around other like naked people?
No.
Like that? I don't have a
And
problem
not
with
because
it.
I have a perfect body. It's far, far. I do not have anything perfect going on.
You have
I
a
had
good body.
a 10-pound baby. I got like
10-pound baby.
Oh, the stretch marks on here. It looks like
I like stretch marks now. I wish they made porn for that.
no
Like yeah, because but like Leanne has stretch marks on her back.
on
And
her back.
like right on her like our love hand, like on the back. I
Dude,
probably
where is
shouldn't
her
say that.
uterus? Where?
No,
is
no,
it?
she got him. I wish she was here. I'd make her show them to you. But like right on, like above her ass, like that's where she has stretch marks.
Oh, because
Like-
she's a slim girl, so when she gained
Yeah, when she
weight,
gained
was
weight.
pregnant, her back was like, what the fuck
Yeah,
is happening?
and so I think the she doesn't have them on her stomach. She doesn't have them on her ass, but like not a lot, but like probably 3.
Yeah.
Right above her ass.
Yeah,
And
well, that's not bad.
but I think they're sexy. Like I
Yeah.
don't think you're a man until you find stretch marks sexy. Oh, Leanne, perfect. Come here.
Come here, we want to
Come
see.
here.
We want to see.
We're talking about stretch marks.
Talking about stretch marks.
I don't have any.
Oh,
Oh, right. Of course you
never
don't.
mind.
Of course you don't.
I don't.
And,
Right here,
and
yeah,
you
right
didn't
here.
Poop when you were having the babies either.
Well, I can't see that.
Okay.
So, to me, they don't exist.
We were talking. Do you remember meeting her at Ralphie's party?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah, I was so excited to meet you that day.
Do we have pickup?
Oh,
Clock, you have to be at that hotel.
Oh shit. Oh fuck. All right.
Okay, we're gonna wrap it up.
How wait.
That's okay.
Let me
I think
let's
stretch
see
marks is the perfect place to end it.
here.
I really didn't know I had any.
Yeah.
Legitimately didn't
I think they're sexy.
Yeah,
I think they're sexy.
I can't really see back there.
Well, I mean, if you are the poster child for stretch marks on your back, I'll take it any day because you're hot.
Do you have any questions you want to ask Kira
Do
about
I-
being
you
a
have any questions about?
How old are
our
your
po-
kids? You've probably already
I have
covered
one.
this.
He's 2.
He's 2.
And I was saying I want to bring him over because he will absolutely fall in love, like want to touch your daughters inappropriately. He loves older women. He just loves chicks.
How cool.
So yeah, I want to come and bring him over and he'll swing on your swings and because you guys have a backyard.
She is Russian too.
Really?
Yeah, like
You wanna hear what
Soviet.
real Russian sounds like?
Sure.
Say something to her in Russian.
What can I say? Well, first of all, вы очень красивая, очень. It means you're very beautiful. Right.
I don't even know how to say thank you in Russian. so.
Спасибо.
Spasiba.
And then she's
Placebo.
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 Пожалуйста. All right.
Okay, so
we
we're
should wrap
done.
this up. Kira, thank you so much for coming over.
My pleasure.
Leanne, I'll be out in 2 seconds. And that is exactly how this podcast works. There is no fucking form to this. Literally, you showed up.
When your
You
wife-
showed up 1 hour and 38 minutes ago, and we've been talking only on mic since.
Nonstop.
Do you have any dates you want to plug?
Where am I going to be? I don't know. When do you throw this out?
I'm going to throw this up Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know. What are we? April? I don't know where we are. I'll be on the Tonight Show again. My bit that I usually do every other month.
What a
The
great
photo
gig.
booth.
What a great gig.
Yeah. 8 years.
Seriously?
8 years, dude.
Fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
So watch that before the Tonight Show gets the plug.
you don't have not doing stand up on the road?
I am. Can I?
Take a
Do I
look at
have
your
time
calendar.
to
I'll
go
get
into
you, yeah.
my calendar?
Yeah, go into your calendar. I'm going into mine.
Okay. Yeah. So what are we? April. I'll be. Oh, jeez. I just realized.
Wait for it, everybody.
You know what? I'm just gonna be.
I'll tell you where I'll be.
Yeah,
I'm going to
please,
be
you
in
plug you.
Omaha this weekend. I'm in Omaha right now when you're listening to this. I am in Cincinnati the weekend after that. I am in. Oh, look, my calendar's right fucking here. I am in. I'll just bang out all. I'm in Portland the week after that. I'm in Baltimore the week after that. My daughter's recital is on the 18th. Then I'm in Austin, and that is a month of stand-up dates.
I have a writing gig right now, so I'm
Really?
not on the road as much. That's why I realized. I
God,
didn't have
you're
anything.
fucking lucky.
Yeah. So, but just check me out.
Your Twitter?
Add me on Twitter at
What's-
Kira Comedy, so I can break 1,000.
Are you serious? You're not at 1,000?
I don't do anything.
All
on
right,
it.
everyone, do me a favor. If you love the Lord Jesus Christ,
or Buddha,
or
Moses.
or Kira or me, go to add Kira on Twitter,
Comedy.
Kira Comedy on Twitter, and then tell your friends to add her, and then do this. Go to one of her videos on from the Tonight Show. Put a link up and
Yes,
tell everyone how funny
I
she
will.
is, and then support her live stand up. All right. God bless everyone. Kira, thank you so much for coming over.
Thank you, Bert.
This episode was brought to you by The Machine.